What's going on, everybody? My name is Johnquaye Campbell. I'm currently an audio engineer student at the university at Full Sail. Today, I'm coming to give you guys a presentation to let you know about what I plan on doing in the future and starting off with my dream job. Um, right now, currently, I do have my own imprint, Black Label Enterprise. I got a whole catalog of artists and music that I engineer, and it's on all streaming platforms. But you know, with the spectrum on how things are in the industry today, currently I've been freelancing about the last 10 years or so, and it's been going pretty good. But as time go on, you got to kind of change with the times and make some slight adjustments. I was a self-taught audio engineer over the years, um, but being out of the loop for a while kind of felt like I needed a refresher. So that's what brought me here today and put me back out there in the university to learn some of the new programs and everything. But I started out as an artist, so over time you kind of watch the industry and learn different things, and now it brought us to this point. So let's get right into it. I want to do my dream job as a A&R executive for a record label. Um, my dream job it is to be an A&R at a record label and to be involved with artists and repertoire of an imprint, preferably a company that's involved in different mediums of entertainment, not just music, but the position that involves different avenues of the industry, ranging from discovering new talent, developing artists, and their careers by guiding their creative vision, assisting in production, and acting as a liaison between the artist and the label to manage projects. The required skills to be an artist in repertoire is strong networking skills, knowledge of the music and potential trends, communication and people skills, the ability to travel, high intensity work, and relationship building. Why A&R, you might ask? Well, like I said, I started out as an artist at first, and everybody has their artist journey and the introduction. I could say I was kind of spoiled when coming into music, being real self sufficient and being in a position where I got to see a lot of stuff from the radio angle and actually out, in a group, um, being self sufficient and learning as we go. So in that experience, I had got a whole lot of um, a whole lot of experience, relationship building, and like a crash course in the music and being able to see stuff at different angles. It was so much at that time being young, but I always was the type to take all the information and the stuff that I didn't know, and I always wanted to learn different things as I was having fun, just out there creating. And I think a lot of artists on the artist journey, I like to call it, I think everybody else could probably relate to that too, you know. So, yeah, and the next question you might want to ask is, what inspired me? Like I said, small successes, experience on my artist journey, years of self-taught research after that experience, and like I said, freelancing over the past 10 years with my own business, and also all the people I network with to this day. And like I said, I was very fortunate, in my career to be able to shadow various scenarios, see the inner workings of music as a whole, from the recording process to the radio as well. Over time and observation and retaining important information over the years, it just built my confidence in the music industry to, go ahead and take the next step. And, it's just one of the ways, and, you know, other career paths related to my experience at Full Sail now is starting to make me even branch off in the different avenues and, you know, test the waters and try to be more well-rounded in my approach to the industry. So right now we can get into some related careers that can help me get to my end goal of being an A&R. All right, we could do a mix engineer, which is, my current path that I'm taking, like I said, I'm doing a refresher. Most of this stuff I have dealt with over the years now is expanded, and some programs are only good for so long, and then they come out with new versions. So now I'm slowly just getting the rust off, so to speak, and starting to feel back comfortable. But to give you a description, a mix engineer blends audio tracks, adjusts levels, applying effects for professional sound and mix. You need a degree and certificate in audio engineering, music production or related field, text expertise, creativity, attention to detail, and adaptability. Another job that I'm slowly, picking up as I'm learning new things here, and one of them that's starting to pique my interest as a alternate route is re-recording mixers. They make the final changes to a film soundtrack, work during the film or television post-production process to help layer the elements of sound of the production and fix tech glitches. You need a BS or a master's degree in audio or engineering, time management and collaboration skills, communication, ability to tell the difference between audio quality. And like I said, I plan to have those skills by the time I graduate this program here at Full Sail, and I will be more proficient in more than one medium. So I look at it like I should be more flexible and be able to adapt to more scenarios and be more of an asset to a collective of whoever, I decide, or whoever decides to employ me. And, I plan to take that as a learning experience and, take it and, hopefully let that mold me and get the experience to be able to make it to the position that I want to get to in my end result. We could talk about the salaries in the field of audio production, audio engineering. Mix engineers, they can earn approximately on an average with the research online from 55 to 60K a year. Freelancers, such as myself, you can earn thousands a month depending on the workload and how much time you have. Right now, I'm still balancing that between school and, doing my freelancing work. But now I'm starting to feel like, I'm getting the rust off, and I'm about to get out there and start collabing with artists and try to, build up more of my catalog for my label and everything currently. And re-recording mixing. The re-recording mixers at the entry level can make anywhere from 50 to 75K a year based on yellowbrick.com from the salaries when I was looking online. Generally, supervising sound editors, they can make more with better resumes and work experience. We could talk about some inspirations. Yeah, man, it's so much going on out here now. It's like now it's like you got to be more than an engineer. It's almost like even though you want to be behind the scenes and do things, I'm that type of person. I like working behind the scenes. You could rarely see my face, but now it's like with the expansion of YouTube and streaming and everything now, is more resources out there. Even now, it feels like being older and dealing with music from an earlier age in my 20s to now, it's almost like not only are you observing and learning and taking in the information, you can also be a teacher on the way. So it's this couple of short videos I wanted to play for you guys. One of them is I want to say it's Devon Fairley. He's one of my favorites. I check out a lot of his reels while I've been on my journey. I think if I'm not sure, I want to say he is a Full Sail graduate also. That's an audio engineer, and I like to look at some of his stuff just to get my head wrapped around the new technology that's out there and the plugins and programs, and he kind of dumbs it down for you. And like I said, now it's almost like you got to take the role of not only learning and when you're getting out here, in the process, while you're doing it, you could be a teacher. So, yeah, let's check him out, man, and see what he got to say.
Let's talk habits.
Like good habits?
Yeah.
I take breaks in between mixes constantly. I take my ear breaks very serious. I think a lot of times what mess people up in their mixes is your ears are fatigued. A lot of people are not monitoring how loud they're listening for how long. Shout out Ben Thomas and Ryan Schwab. They made me start to do 75 to 80 dBA on an SPL meter, the most that I'm monitoring from. And I found that's a nice volume for me. Sorry if I butchered that. I take a break every hour or 45 minutes, walk away for 15 and come back. My technique for my ear breaks, I do drums first, then I take a 15-minute break. Then I move on to bass, take a 15-minute break. Then vocals, 15-minute break. Then do melodic instruments, the swooshes and impacts together. Take a break. I do the mix bus and I'm done. So I take about 5 breaks in between. Ever since I've been doing that, my mixes have been translating so much better. You know, the next day when you come back to your mix and you're like, what the hell? I don't get that feeling. When I come back the next day, I'm like, that's great. And then I'll be like, let me make a few tweaks and stuff like that.
Yeah, man, that's Devon, man, and like I said, he got reels on YouTube. I love looking at his stuff. It kind of helps me in my process to kind of go ahead and start wrapping my mind around what they expect, and and put you in the mind of an audio engineer. And I like that he has this podcast, and for people like me that's like techie and into all of the new and hip stuff, he really puts it where it's easy to digest, and it's also some good content. So shout out to Devon, man. And like I said, I follow him and always watch him to kind of go ahead and start getting my wheels turning before I'm even working on my assignments and stuff. So I appreciate the fact that even though he's out here working, like I said, in the new age of how the music and the industry is working, he's taking the time out and he's already figured it out, and he's also like a teacher. So I got one more video from one of the re-remix mixers' point of view, and he's worked on the Wicked movie soundtrack re-recording mixer, and let's see what he got to say, man.
One thing I do as a mixer on a musical, I mix the dialogue and the vocals at the same time. I don't treat them as a song. I treat them as one piece of storytelling. Whether they're talking or singing, it doesn't matter. They're conveying lyrics and story to us. So I actually balance that with the music on, but kind of low, so that I can really concentrate on how they're sounding, what sort of space they're sitting in, if I'm creating a little bit of a larger space or a tinier room, so that they're all uniform together all the time. And then I introduce the music into that.
Yeah, man, I think that's so dope. Like I said, now that with all the knowledge I done obtained thus far on my journey here, like I said, I just was always thinking like audio engineer, and now in all the classes that I've been taking, now I'm starting to broaden my horizons, and I'm starting to lean into the audio video field, and I'm starting to fall in love with the remix engineer stuff too. So that's Avid Learning is the source where I got that from, and I'm starting to lean into that too. So and there you have it. Like I said, my name is JohnQuaye Campbell. I appreciate you guys' time, and just putting that energy out there, good energy, good vibes all the time, and I appreciate you guys taking the time out to check out my report. You guys keep up the artist journey and the music grind. Until next time.